What a numpty. Can't believe it. Been going about 25 minutes. And then ground started getting steeper. And then realised didn't have any walking poles in the van. So, big days like today, which I'll tell you about a little later. I'm going to need my poles. So, back to the van. And start again. It's going to add, I don't know, 35, 40 minutes to what was already a big day. Oh, what an idiot. Oh, well, I've retrieved my pole. Now I'm running about 40-45 minutes behind my original schedule, but hey, doesn't really matter, does it? Let us get cracking into the hills. Still a bit of cloud on the top at the moment. Hopefully that'll change. Good morning. So today the forecast is for cloud in the valleys and the top's clear, and at the moment we've got precisely the opposite. But never mind, I'm going to take my time going up in the hope that the cloud will clear the summit. But our first top today is Moel Elio. Done Moel Elio many times before. And it's a lovely top with great views of Snowdon and the Glidders, or to give Snowdon its proper name, Erithfa. Right, let's crack on. Wow, just had the most amazing sunrise. Looked like there was almost boiling fire between the Glidders and the Snowdon range. Just gorgeous. But Moel Elio is still in cloud, which is why I've ventured off path and I'm just hovering, perched up above Llanberis. I'm just going to take my time in the hope that the cloud lifts, because it'd be a shame to go to the top of Moel Elio and see nothing. What a beautiful morning. Wow. Well, this is the highest point of Moel Elio, and it's what those mountaineers like to call it atmospheric, which means it's flipping cloudy and frustrating, but still beautiful in its own way. I wonder. Let's give it 5 more minutes and then we'll head on down. It could do this all day, or it could completely clear in 2 minutes. The joys of the mountains, you never quite know what's going to happen next. Right, I've left my old Elio behind. Never did quite get a proper view, but wow, I'm on the edge of the cloud now, and it's the view just keeps appearing and disappearing, and it's just absolutely breathtaking. Right, so now I've got a really long ridge walk, fair bit of descent, and then up and down for a fair bit before I pick up my second peak. We pick up about 3 other little mini peaks that aren't Nuttall's on the way around. But it's a good trek, so that's why I can't afford to linger here any longer, even though I do suspect it'll be clear of the cloud very shortly. God, isn't it absolutely beautiful? Wow. Right, come on, enough dawdling. Oh my goodness, it's beautiful. Right, this is Fol Gron. Next one over there is Fol Goch, and the one behind it is Moel Kingahoirian. And what you can't see from here is there's a big dip in between the two, so a big descent and a big reascent. And after that is the part of the day I'm most worried about, but we'll see when we get there whether it's a problem or not. What a beautiful day, what a beautiful day. Oh, I love it. Stunning. Right, let's keep going. Hello there. Well, this is Fol Goch. It's not a Nuttall. Sadly he's too small. I've just been laughing at myself. I glanced down and noticed the reading glasses that were in my trouser pocket made it look a little bit like little Dwayne was getting excited about going on some sort of adventure. I'm hoping that hasn't ruined a lot of the footage I've taken so far, because it would be quite a distraction. I've now tucked away my reading glasses in the rucksack, so not to cause any more excitement. Anyway, this is behind us over there, Moel Kingahoirian, nice and clear at the moment. So we shall head over there shortly. See you in a minute. Right, just starting our ascent of Moel Kincorian. Mantle Ridge behind me, and Molcha Bog over there, Mynydd Mawr to my left, your right. What a beautiful place. I think that's why I like this walk so much. You're just surrounded by epic mountains. Anyway, it's quite a climb, this one, so let's see if we can get to the top, and maybe that's an opportunity for my first sit down of the day. I've not had a break yet. So let's keep moving. Well, hello there. This is the top of Moel Kincorian. From a plateau for a summit, quite where the highest point is. Hard to say, there's a tiny little cairn by the stile over there, but I don't know if that's it. There's a spot height just here on the map. So this is probably the highest point. What a beautiful day it's turned into. Unless of course you are on top of Snowdon, which is now, and has been all day, in the cloud. Well, Moel Elio has broken out the cloud now. It's over there and looking splendid. And our final top of the day is called Llechog, and getting to it is going to be interesting. We drop down to the brook down there and then try and cut across through the corrie. We shall see how we get on. to say I'm feeling a little bit apprehensive is maybe a little bit of understatement. That corrie behind me, that's the way I plan to get across, to save having to go up the Snowdon Ranger path and pick up the Llanberis path higher up, which would be an awful lot more ascent. But from here, it looks quite tricky. Let's get down a bit further and we'll have to make an assessment of whether we want to risk it or not. I can't see much in the way of paths there at the moment. That's encouraging. The point at which my route goes over into that corrie, there's a stile. And that's a good sign, because if there's a stile, there's probably a path, even though I can't see. So let's get over there and let's go and have a look. Wow, it's a wobbly stile. Grief. Wow, what a beautiful place. As soon as I've dropped off the ridge there, there's not a breath of wind down here. It's absolutely beautiful. But the path that there is a very thin, grassy trail, which is great because at least it leads me in the right direction. But it's the rock's slippery, the grass is slippery, so a great deal of care is needed. I've got a fair climb to do now to get us up to where the little inn is a bit higher up. So once we're up there, I think it's the worst of it's done then. Wow, what a beautiful place. we're up Llyn de Arthw now. What a beautiful place. Breeze is starting to get up a little bit now, but just look at the cliffs there. My goodness, absolutely gorgeous. So we climb out of here now. Right, I'm about to join Snowdonia's equivalent of the M6, the Llanberis path up here with her. I shall see you on the other side. We have left the Llanberis path behind, although I'm going to rejoin it later for quite a while, so it's a lovely path, to be fair. It's just very busy, and now we're on the path up Clechog, which is not too far. We've got to jump across the Snowdon Mountain Railway line at some point that follows the Llanberis path for a good chunk of the route up Snowdon, but deviates from it at this point. So not far now till we reach our final top of the day, and we've got a humongous walk back to the van, which I'll just turn you around and show you what I'm talking about. You can see Moelilio in the distance over there, and that hump to the side of Moelilio, to my left, to your right. That's where Stand the Van's parked. Oh my goodness, it's a long way back. And we've got to drop right down the valley and climb up again, so there's a lot of the day left yet, even though my final top is approaching. Anyway, it's been fantastic, really enjoyed it. Come on, Lechog, where are you? Wow, well that was the top of the Clechog. I couldn't talk to the camera because the wind was so strong I could barely stand up. But I'm in the lee of the mountain edge, so it's settled down a little bit. So what now? As I mentioned before, I've got a humongous walk back again. Oh, it looks a long way away. But first things first, I want to find somewhere quiet, out the wind, to sit and eat the remainder of my lunch. Because I've still got a jam butty left, which I'm really looking forward to. Oh, right, let's go find somewhere to sit. Right, I'm about to join the Llanberis path again. I want to have. I'm on it for quite a good while, and it's very busy. You can see down there. So I'll probably catch up with you when I come off the Llanberis path, which is getting towards Llanberis itself, but not quite that close. Just before that we turn off. So I shall update you then. Right, I've left the Llanberis path behind now, and I'm going to pick up this little trail in a second. That trail, there's a few turns to take here and there, but it takes us all the way back to Llanfydd. Do you ever wake up and find a sheep lying on your forehead? That's what happened to me this morning. I looked in the mirror, and overnight an entire sheep had grown out of my eyebrow. A big long white one. And obviously I pulled the little bugger out. How does that happen? How does it grow so fast? It's like magic. Sometimes they like randomly pop out your ears and you wake up and you've got a sheep sticking out your ear. It never happened to me when I was young. It just seems to be something that's happening as I'm getting older. What is going on? Well, nearly back in the van. What a day that was. What an adventure. Absolutely loved it. Dropping down into that little corrie. It's a little bit scary, but it was magical. I loved it. Oh, what a day. Anyway, hopefully I'll see you on the next one.